Hey there, it's James from Famous Quest, and instead of talking about movies this week, I'm going to be talking about something on television. This is BBC's Jekyll, that's right, BBC as in Britain, and this was a 6-episode miniseries they did in like 2007. Now, Jekyll is obviously a reinventing of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, classical 19th century story. And obviously it's got a modern take on the story, kind of like what they did with Sherlock a few years later. And I will say that Sherlock is a lot more successful with the Jekyll here, but that's not to say that this is a complete loss. So this was written and adapted by MOffet, who went on to be Doctor Who guy, Sherlock guy. It's really good cinematography, it's a really interesting story to begin with, good concept, intriguing characters, and just a good modernization of a classic tale, which, you know, I'd be okay with seeing more and more of these kind of things. It's interesting to note that when I watched this, there's 6 episodes, each one's about an hour long. When I originally watched this on this used DVD here, I got to towards the end of the 5th episode out of 6, and my disc just wouldn't work. And I was bummed out because it felt like a big cliffhanger, and I needed to know what happened. And at that point, I was like really hyped into the show. I was really intrigued and felt like the energy of the show and the explanation so far had worked. And it hadn't gotten too goofy or dumb or weird. And I felt like, you know, James Nesbitt had done a great job as the main character. And I don't know what it is, but basically I came back and watched the rest of it on Netflix or something. And the end of that episode and just the last episode took just a dramatic swing in quality, where I felt like it went from like kind of goofy or B explanations, which was fine and stuff, and it kind of got schlocky and silly in some regards, and kind of campy in not so great a way. And you know, just overall, I was much less impressed with the ending of this show. But I do think that it's still worth checking out. You know, maybe, you know, and not everyone has to commit to watching 6 hours of it necessarily. But watching the beginning of it, you know, 1 or 2 episodes and kind of seeing, what did someone do with this source material? What could someone do with other source material? That's what I find really intriguing about BBC's Jekyll. The idea, the mindset, I find fascinating of taking something old, putting out something new. BBC's Jekyll. Let me know what other movies, video games, TVs you want me to review or do a Let's Play of, and I probably will.